All right, let's be honest. You've probably sat through a dozen leadership seminars. You're busy, you're juggling deadlines, you're managing egos, you're constantly putting out fires. You really don't have time for fluffy theories. You need something that actually works when the pressure is on and everything is falling apart.
So, let's make this real. Your budget? Gone. Your timeline? A complete joke. Your top engineer? Just handed in their notice. And all eyes, they're on you. So what do you do? Not tomorrow, not next week. What is your move right now?
Well, I can tell you the answer you're looking for isn't hiding in some management textbook. No, it's found in the real world, forged in 6 months of freezing ocean swims, punishing runs on soft sand, and constant, unending pressure. It comes straight from Navy SEAL training.
Okay, so let's get into the core of it. The first and honestly the most important lesson is a complete shift in how you think. In these high-stakes projects, the idea of the lone wolf, the superstar leader who does it all, it's a total myth. Your success and your failure rests on the entire crew.
See, during training, they put you in these 7-person boat crews. Your job is to paddle a heavy rubber boat through 10-foot waves. Every single person has to paddle in perfect sync. If just one person is off, just one person slacks off for a second, the wave wins. Every time. The boat flips, and the whole crew ends up soaking wet, freezing cold, and right back at the starting line. The lesson is simple and brutal. You succeed together or you fail together, period.
So how do you even begin to build a team that can handle that kind of intense pressure? Well, it actually starts with you. And it starts with a discipline so basic, most people just write it off as silly.
Every single morning in SEAL training, the first thing you do is make your bed. Perfectly. Why? Because it's a task you can complete well. It gives you a tiny, immediate win, a little hit of pride, and that first win encourages you to tackle the next task, and the one after that. It proves that the little things, the details, really do matter. And you know what? Even if you have the most miserable day imaginable, you come home to something you did right, to a little piece of order that you created in a chaotic world.
Think about it. Leading a huge, complex project, that's a big thing. But it's built on the foundation of getting all the little things right, day in and day out. That's where discipline starts.
So you've got your own discipline dialed in. Now, how do you pick the right people for your crew? The ones who will paddle with you through any storm? Well, the answer is probably not what you think. You'd assume the best boat crew would be full of the biggest, most athletic guys, right? The star quarterbacks and the Olympic swimmers, but it never was. The best crew, the one that consistently dominated, was a team they called the Munchkin Crew. Not a single guy in it was over 5'5".
The bigger guys would make fun of their little swim fins, but the Munchkins, they always got the last laugh. Because SEAL training is the ultimate equalizer. It proves that it's not about your size or your fancy resume. It's about the size of your heart. It's about your will to keep going. So when you're building your team, ask yourself, are you just looking at the stats on paper, or are you looking for heart?
All right, let's get real. This is the part of the training nobody enjoys, but everybody needs. Things are going to go wrong. It's inevitable. Your job isn't to somehow prevent all failure. Your job is to lead your team through it.
During uniform inspections, you could be perfect, but an instructor would always find something wrong. The punishment? You had to run into the freezing ocean, then roll around on the beach until you were covered head to toe in sand. You just became a sugar cookie. It was totally unfair, but that was the whole point. The lesson wasn't about having a perfect uniform. It was about seeing if you could take an unfair hit, get over it without complaining, and just drive on.
And if you failed to meet a time standard on a run or on the obstacle course, you got invited to something called the circus. 2 more hours of grueling exercises designed to wear you down. But a funny thing happened. The guys who went to the circus the most, they just got stronger. Your professional life is full of circuses. Don't run from them. They're what's building the strength you're going to need for the next big challenge.
So let's talk about the real threats, the things you don't see coming. For a SEAL on a long night swim, that's a great white shark. For you, it's a new competitor that pops up out of nowhere, a sudden downturn in the market, or maybe a stakeholder who's turned hostile.
The training on this is very clear. You don't panic. You absolutely do not try to outswim it. You hold your ground. And if that shark comes for you, you summon every ounce of strength you have and you punch it right in the snout. Bullies, whether they're in the ocean or in the boardroom, tend to back down when you stand up to them. But the ultimate test of composure comes during a combat swim exercise. You have to swim under a massive ship to its deepest, darkest point, the keel. It's pitch black. You can't see a thing. The noise from the ship's engines is deafening, disorienting. That is your project's moment of maximum chaos. And it's in that exact moment, when everything is screaming at you to panic, that you have to be perfectly calm, completely composed, and absolutely focused.
Which brings us to the final and most important lesson of all. Right in the middle of the SEAL training compound, there's this brass bell. Anyone who wants to quit can, anytime, day or night. All you have to do is walk up and ring that bell.
During the toughest week of training, they make you spend 15 hours overnight in freezing neck-deep mud. The instructors are taunting you, saying they'll let you out if just 5 men quit. It's beyond miserable. People are shivering uncontrollably, moaning, ready to give up. And then, out of the darkness, one voice starts singing, way out of tune. Then another guy joins in, and then another. Before you know it, the whole class is singing. The instructors are furious, screaming at them to stop, but they just keep singing. And somehow, the mud starts to feel just a little bit warmer. The sun doesn't seem quite so far away. The lesson is powerful. When your team is up to its neck in the mud, you have to be the one who starts singing. You have to be the one who gives them hope.
You know, you have a bell in your office too. It just might not be made of brass. Quitting is rarely a big dramatic moment. So I want you to really think about this for a second. How do people on your team ring the bell every day?
Ringing the bell is saying, "That's not my problem." It's choosing to complain instead of finding a solution. It's when we lose faith in the project and, more importantly, in each other. Your job as a leader is to convince your team and yourself to never, ever ring that bell.
And here's why all this matters so much. This isn't just about finishing a project or hitting a quarterly target. The way you lead, the hope you inspire, the resilience you build in your people, it doesn't just stop when the project is over. It ripples outward.
Just think about this. If every single one of you changed the lives of just 10 people for the better, and then each of those 10 people went on to do the same for 10 more, do you know what happens? In just 5 generations, that simple act impacts 800 million people. The small things you do as a leader have an effect you can't even imagine.
Every team you build, every project you manage, is a chance to be the one who starts singing in the mud. It's a chance to punch the shark in the snout, to inspire your crew not to ring that bell. That's not just project management. That's how you change the world. So, the only question I have for you is, are you ready to lead the crew?